In this tutorial, I'm going to share with you step by step how to use two of my favorite tools for avatar cloning and high quality PVC professional voice cloning, 11 Labs. I'm going to show you step by step how to use it both for yourself or for a client project if, let's say, you're setting this up on behalf of someone else. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to do it. You're going to have every step laid out. So first of all, I want to share what has happened since I dialed in a clone. My YouTube channel is off the charts, and for the first time ever in marketing history, I've been doing marketing for 12 years, I feel like this just became manageable because every single video we are now going to do is a clone. I'm using Claude to write the scripts. I do the research myself. It is a manual process because I love to study my field, but then I have Claude writing the entire script based on my research. And I just do that in a Claude project that is trained on how I write. But besides that piece of it, the actual filming takes so much time. It is hard to do. You have to do hair and makeup. If you're a female, you have to actually make the time, no matter who you are. And it is just a pain. Even I am accustomed to speaking. I like speaking. Still a pain. So look at this. In a 3-day period, we did the most videos I've ever done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's because these are all cloned. Even the only ones that are not cloned is this one, and we're testing clones in these as well. And I want to share with you something crazy. I tested after 25 hours of dialing in a clone the way I'm about to show you. We published a video that had a clone of me inside the video. And this video had the most engagement out of any video I've published to date. This is what that video looks like. It is the video entitled O3 equals AGI. The actual title is O3 just broke the AI ceiling. And the engagement is through the roof. Most of all, the views are higher, 3.8 times higher than usual, and the watch time is super high. So we had an incredible retention on this video to where the click-through rate is 7.8%, and the engagement was almost 8 minutes average view duration. So I'm here to prove to you that you can dial in a clone so good no one knows the difference. And now most of my videos coming out will be a clone of me because the clone is so much easier when I can just write out the script and dial it in and then put it through my clone. So I'm gonna share with you exactly how to set this up. We're going to actually produce a cloned video together. We're going to drop the link in here for my producer. My producer is based in the Philippines, and he just edits the videos humanly, and that human touch absolutely does go an extra mile, but to pay for his production is very, very low cost. On average, you can get a very good producer for $1,500 a month to do all of your content, and I'm talking, if we're doing 3 to 4 videos a week, that's insane to only pay anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, which is what a good producer generally costs. Again, mine is offshore. So I just give him the file, I give him this document, and he's off to the races. So here's how to clone a video step by step. So we're going to use HeyGen for the avatar clone. We are on the creator plan, that's all you need. And we are also going to use 11 Labs for the PVC. Now I will say, if you want to do longer YouTube video, you might need to go to the team plan because on the creator plan, it's only 5 minutes of video. But what I've done is I've exported my video in parts. I also can't get 4K. I don't know why they lock it behind the enterprise. I don't love that, but the 1080 is working pretty dang good, so I'm not upset. So at the creator plan, it does remove the watermark and it does do some pretty good stuff. So there's that. On the team plan for $89 a month, that is where we have the custom video avatar. So when you're ready to move into the avatar, like a full custom video avatar, when you're ready, go for the team plan. If you are getting started from the ground up with an avatar from the get-go, you need to bypass creator and go straight to the team plan, because the team plan, as you can see down here, right here, it's the avatar starter, which is the add-ons. Over here, it's an actual custom video avatar, which is what we need to develop what I'm about to show you. For the 11 Labs, PVC, one of the best voice clones I've ever tested, you need the creator plan. That is enough to get professional voice cloning and everything you need to get started. I find 100 minutes per month actually too much, so it works out really great. And what you're going to do is import it into HeyGen once you have it built in 11 Labs. So the first step we need to build both the 11 Labs, besides an account, right, a creator account, and then our team account to get the custom video avatar. So besides the accounts, you need training data. Training data is by far one of the most important things. Your data set, which is what you upload to these models, these generative AI models, what you upload, aka data set, aka training data, what you upload is the most important piece of this. So if you are doing this for a client, you need, I found for 11 Labs, you need an hour and 21 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes. That's awesome. Anywhere around there in a straight wave file. Now, something that I did do was I pulled about 10 videos from my YouTube channel that did not have music, that did not have cuts of other speakers. Very important. You don't want to train on another speaker's voice. You don't want to train on music. All that will ruin the PVC. You need straight audio of you speaking that is high quality. And most importantly, when you put together the single file, and you can upload multiple, so that's fine. If you have multiple files, you can do that as well. Most importantly, you need clean audio that is consistent as it plays. You don't want poop, mic pops. You don't want a change, a drastic. The future is here. You don't want drastic changes in how the voice sounds. You don't want drastic setting changes. You don't want different microphones. You need a consistent microphone. They need to be on that same microphone. That voice needs to be on that mic all the file through. And it needs to be consistent. I've tested this. If you don't have that and you have multiple mics from a 5-year period, it doesn't come out good. There's some weird inconsistencies that will start to show up in your avatar. But listen to this. I'm going to play a little clip all throughout, and you're going to see consistent, clean, equal to each other, equal mic quality. Just dropped their latest models, put them in the running because these are frontier and all of this AI stuff in January of 2020. But what's coming to these models? Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Julia McCoy, Optimus or Boston generation before we arrive. So that entire 1 hour 21 minute file, clean audio. That's important. For the digital avatar, you need, I would recommend 5. If you only have 3, that's a good start. 5 clips, which are under 5 minutes, of you or your client speaking in a beautiful setting. Their hair is done. Like, this is how they would want to look if they were on a big stage. You want the best. This is, again, your training data. You're going to create infinite content from this. So we've got 5 video files here. Great hair, great makeup. We've got different shirts on, very important. You don't want to clone yourself and have the same shirt on over and over and over. This needs to be human-like, dynamic, right? So we've got different shirts. It's the same setting. I'm always in my office filming. Maybe you go outside. Maybe you change your setting if you're usually in different places, especially for shorts and reels and that kind of content, which we've done in HeyGen. Beautiful output. So we have consistent quality throughout each of these. These are 4K shots. They're on a DSLR. And it's me talking straight. There's no jump cuts. Very important. You do not want to train on jump cuts. I tried that. So you want to, here's the best thing you could do. Tell your client, if this is for a client or if this is for you, to just speak on common topics you're going to speak about in the videos. Just shoot from the hip for a good 3 to 4 minutes. Times 3 videos to start, 5 is more ideal. So you're going to tell them that, and it's going to be a straight, clean, just talking to a friend. Use a good professional, pretend like you're on stage if you want to. Have a very good professional approach to how you film this. So if you listen to me speak, this touches our children in educational institutions and how they are even trained to function throughout their day. So we are in a system that does not prioritize health, well-being, life, and the benefits of simply just being a human being. So you can see like even my hands show up a little bit. That's great. That's fine. Any mannerisms you have that are normal and natural, you want to include that in your video training file, because what HeyGen will do is pick up on all of those movements and incorporate that into that clone. Okay, so once you have your accounts, you're going to jump into these generative AI platforms, and here's what you're going to do. First, you're going to create your 11 Labs voice. So you're going to go to 11 Labs voice. You're going to add a new voice, and you're going to go down here and pick professional voice clone. On that plan I recommended, you should have one available. What I recommend is if you need more than one, to just go pick up multiple creator accounts, because if you want more than one professional voice clone, it's it's actually $1,300 a month, which is insane. So I just recommend multiple creator accounts, because then you pick up a professional voice clone multiple times and you don't pay this insane monthly cost. Okay, so we have our professional voice clone. For the purposes of this training, we're just going to do instant. The process is about the same. So what you're going to do is upload your training file. Remember, we got ourselves a nice little wave file that is not showing up currently on my downloads. Oh, there it is. So we're going to grab that. We're going to upload that. You shouldn't have this problem on the PVC. It goes up to, I believe, 1,500 megabytes. So you're going to click, actually, if it's a good mic, you're not going to click remove background noise. If it isn't a good mic, go ahead and click that. Then you're going to click, I hereby confirm that I have all necessary rights. You're going to describe the voice like so. You're going to name it. Now, very important, you are going to need, and just describe it as your voice. You're going to need to confirm this whenever you add it. So you're going to need the person building the voice. You're going to need to have that person right here. So if you're building this for your team, a client, yourself, keep in mind that the voice you're cloning, that person has to be here confirming. You're going to see a pop-up where they actually have to speak, and it's going to verify that that's their voice. A little hack you could use to get past that is on your phone, you could sync the audio file that we just uploaded. Actually, never mind, because you have to read a custom script. I'm just trying to think of a hack to get past that. Nope. For now, unless things change, that person will have to be here, because they have to actually read custom words. You can't just play the audio file, right? Which is what I was thinking of. You can't just do that. All right, so keep that in mind. You or that team member, the person you're building it for, has to be here confirming. Once you go through that process, you're going to see the clone load. And it generally takes a couple hours, and then it's ready to go. So over in HeyGen, in the avatar, once we've signed up for our account, we're going to click Create Avatar.
Hey guys,
we want still.
So we only need 2 minutes of talking videos of you. You can talk.
Unless you want to be outside and all that, but generally for good, clean content, you don't want that. Okay, so it's going to tell you these different things. You want 2 to 5 minutes of footage, a high resolution camera, well-lit, quiet environment. You want to look directly into the camera. You want to pause. So you don't want to rush through what you're saying, and you want to keep your hands below your chest. However, that said, the tip is to exaggerate your emotions. So sometimes my hands come up, because that is how I talk, right? So I recorded my footage with that in it, and I've noticed it's naturally added my hands in there. However, word to the wise, don't count. Don't be like 1, 2, 3, 4, because then whenever it pulls your hands, it's going to pull you counting when you're not counting. That happened. Don't do that. Okay, so we're going to upload our first one. We're going to select all of these items here. I don't want it to remove my background, because it'll do weird things to some of the background pieces. If you have a good background, leave it. You also want it to look real. And if you pull it out of your background, All right, so another same thing. You're going to need to verify with the person real time that this is them. Okay, so you can see I did it in the dark of night, and it still picked me up, but it needs to be you. So we're going to say, I change this to be your name. I, Julia McCoy, hereby allow HeyGen to use the footage of me to build a HeyGen avatar for use on the HeyGen platform. For safety purposes, this is the passcode VITV. So now it's going to validate that. Something else you could potentially do, I'm just trying to think of how to hack this if you have somebody remote that can't be there in person. You could potentially call them, right? Same for 11 Labs, and have them on the phone verifying. And, you know, if it's picking up footage and they're right here on the phone, you should be able to center that to where it's just picking up them. So that would absolutely work. I guess that is a hack I didn't think of till now. You could call the person you're doing this for and have them verify via the device you're going to hold. Maybe better if you have an iPad. A phone could work as well. But if they read that aloud, the important thing, because Alex did this with me when we were working remote, the important thing is they can't be outside. They can't be in a loud environment if it's on 11 Labs and they're confirming their voice. They need to actually be on a mic and have clear audio and be ready to say, well, if they're on so maybe that's where you could do a Google Meet with your phone. And if they're on a mic through the Meet and it's high quality, that's what the mic will hear. So mic to mic as much as possible. That's for 11 Labs voice specifically, because that voice verification, it has to be the voice you're cloning. And it has to be clear. So you can't be calling them at a coffee shop, school, outside walk. It's not going to come through. All right, so we just created our clone, and that usually takes, I'd say, between 5 to 10 minutes. Something that I highly recommend is to add a new look, and that's where you're going to pull in, right, all of these additional files, and you're going to do the same thing. I recommend, this is a very human tip, but I recommend whenever you're shooting your training data for that digital avatar clone, I highly recommend doing it when you're not tired, hungry, frustrated, when you have like a great calm demeanor. Because when it trains on that, you know, I did something at the very end of the day. I was tired. I shouldn't have done it. I hated what came out. The clone just looked what didn't feel like the true, real, most professional version of me. So remember, your training data is everything. And so when I filmed, I just sat there for 3 minutes and talked about the topics I love, right? And that was my clone. And then we're just setting it up. So you want to upload each of those. They're called looks. And then what that's going to do is allow you to then create the clone, which I'm going to show you here. We're going to go back to my other clone because our looks are not ready. I really need to. It's terrible. Oh, yikes. Okay. Great still there, HeyGen. All right, so you can see I've got a lot of looks, right? Because I film a lot. I'm going to create a ton of content for YouTube based on these clones. So if I take this, hey, tools, your instant avatar is ready. Try creating videos with. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create. Now we're going to actually create a YouTube video. I'm going to show you how. All right, so less is more with the script. There's a lot of tips about, use the emoji to do this and to add pauses, but I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to do that. Okay, so for the voice, you're going to click Integrate Third-Party Voice. You're going to add an API key, which you can get inside of 11 Labs. It's super, super easy to get your API key. The quickest way to do it, I'm going to type in Google, how to find my API key in and then I'll even use SearchGPT. So look at that. Nice little AI overviews right here in Google. Log into 11 Labs, top right, profile, API key field. There you go. So once you have the API key, you're going to plug it in, and then you're going to see your voices appear. It's going to show Julia McCoy's voice, and I've deleted some and added some. You don't want the voices from your clone because those aren't trained good enough. Let me show you the difference. This is the voice from our digital avatar clone versus the 11 Labs PVC. Big difference. Here we go.
Hello, this is how I sound. Hope you like it. Hello, this is how I sound. Hope you like it.
I don't like it. But let me pull in our clone. So we're going to my voices. Julie McCoy's voice from 11 Labs. So I deleted one and then I added another. I believe this is the current one. We'll find out. Hello, this is how I sound. Hope you like it. Do you see the difference? That's insane. And that, my friends, is how you do a clone. You get the PVC from 11 Labs. Oh, and then you do the video from HeyGen. All right, so here's how. So we're going to do an entire YouTube video. Like I said, I have researched this script. I've edited it. It is 100% in my style. So first we're going to title it. That just makes it easier to produce. We're going to copy this whole thing, okay? And now we're going to edit it into the timeline. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so obviously this is too long, right? It's showing us that. So what we're going to do, first of all, is break it up. And here's how you do that. You find the paragraph and you hit enter. That's simple. We're going to do that multiple times because that creates nice little pauses. I have found that you do not want to do something like add a specific pronunciation. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it super natural and just written out like so. You're going to take anything that says percent, and you're going to say 50%, write it out. You're going to take the year. You're going to say 2030. Write it out. 2025. Just be very specific with your words and think about how can you state something in a professional way, right? So if there's some jargon, if it sounds too hip, delete it, delete it. You want clear, 50. Oops. Okay, 100. Oh, something I just realized. You know what my CAIO would be telling me right now? Alex would be telling me, Julia, why aren't you having AI do this? And he's right. I should be taking this straight into GPT and saying, hey, write all the numbers and percentages out as words. Gotta think like that, right? But we're almost done, so I'm just gonna keep going. A 9,900. Okay, so we're splitting up key pieces that we want to keep. I'm going to delete the words that we don't need, the fluff. So where someone just runs the machine, well, we could say someone runs. You just want this incredibly clearly written. And like I said, what I would do is actually just, instead of doing this humanly, just take this whole script into ChatGPT and be like, rewrite the years and the percentages out as words and cut out any fluff. There you go. Done. All right, so we're almost done here. Just going to keep cleaning it up. All right, so at this point, we are just cleaning up. I'm deleting blank sections, rereading it, making sure 25x better results. Yep. There aren't any numbers. All right, so now what we're going to do is create the timeline. So see how we added all this text? So now what we've got to do is a process of adding the clone to the entire timeline. See, I just tapped up here and the whole thing filled out. That's what you want. And then you just want to double check by zooming in. You want to double check that it actually got the whole thing. All right, very good. So it looks like we can shorten this a little bit. Okay, hold on. So it's a little tricky. The main thing you want to do is you do want to go to the end of that blue line. That is really important. I'm just going to hit undo because all right, there we go. I'm just going to leave that alone. The main thing you don't want to do is cut it off too soon. If you have a little extra, not a big deal. Your producer can cut it, right? All right, so it looks like we have a 3-minute (3-minute 20-second) video in total. My producer is going to add some clips to it, so it will extend it, right? Let me actually hit enter on that because I know that that's where he's going to insert the clip. We're just going to add a little bit of spacing there. Okay. All right, so now we're going to hit submit. So this is not going to be a 3-minute, 20-minute video. 3-minute, 20-second video, FYI. We have about 5 minutes of footage we're going to add from Jensen Huang's video because in general, my videos are no less than 7 minutes long. They just don't perform as well. Sometimes they're 30 minutes. And that's where if you need more time, the pricing plans go up, right? So the team, we've got 30-minute videos. All right, so we're going to hit submit. We make sure we name it. I'm going to change the FPS to 30 because what will happen is I give this to my producer and he works in 30 FPS. The resolution, can't change it to 4K unless I'm on an enterprise, so whatever. 1080 is good enough. We're going to hit submit. All right, it's pulling in that PVC from 11 Labs. We've got 21 sections here, so it's quite a bit. All right, this is fine. It says the script exceeds the scene, and I've hit submit anyway, and this is not a big deal, especially if you're handing this to a producer, which I do recommend. I don't recommend just publishing a straight clone without effects, without fun little cuts, etc. And you can really find almost any offshore producer, especially on like Fiverr.com. If you do shorts, it gets amazing. You know, we did this with an avatar. You can see it's immediately cropped in the right format.
Here's a golden nugget. Listen to this. Be ready to allow us to dig really deep. On the call, come with an idea of the time you want to save, the tasks you really hate and want to get out of, and be ready to share the cost of your marketing department, what your team size looks like, etc. These kinds of deep details allow...
That's incredible. So on the short form, I mean, you can pump out content like never before. It's amazing. All right, so that is how to clone yourself using 11 Labs. And hey, Jen, have fun.